Have you ever wondered why some companies make the leap from being just good to truly great, while others, with the same resources, same opportunities, and sometimes even better ideas, remain stuck in mediocrity? Here's the truth. Greatness in business isn't about luck, timing, or even raw talent. It's about discipline, leadership, and making the right strategic choices. And there's one book that captures this transformation better than any other, Good to Great by Jim Collins. Today, I'm going to walk you through the most powerful lessons from this classic book, show you how they apply not just to billion-dollar companies, but also to your own entrepreneurial journey, your career, and even your financial life. By the end of this video, you'll not only know why this book has become a must-read for leaders worldwide, but you'll also want to grab a copy for yourself and start applying its insights immediately. So, let's start with the basics. Good to Great: Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't was published in 2001 by Jim Collins, a business researcher who spent 5 years studying 1,435 companies to find out why only a few of them became exceptional while others stayed average. His team identified just 11 companies that made the leap from good to great and sustained that greatness for at least 15 years. That's what makes this book so powerful. It's not based on theory or one-off success stories. It's built on data, discipline, and patterns that anyone in business can learn from. Collins found that every great company had what he calls level 5 leaders. Now, what's a level 5 leader? It's someone who combines extreme personal humility with intense professional will. In other words, they're not flashy, ego-driven CEOs who want the spotlight. They're quiet, determined leaders who care more about the company's success than their own fame. Take Darwin Smith, CEO of Kimberly-Clark. When he took over, the company was struggling. Instead of chasing trends or bowing to Wall Street, he made the bold decision to sell off their paper mills, their traditional backbone, and double down on consumer paper products like Kleenex and Huggies. People thought he was crazy. But under his leadership, Kimberly-Clark outperformed Procter & Gamble and beat the stock market by 4 times. Why does this matter to you? Because in business and in life, true leadership isn't about ego. It's about vision, discipline, and the courage to make tough calls. If you want to go from good to great, you need to cultivate humility while never compromising on your drive to succeed. This one is huge. Collins says, before deciding where to drive the bus, first get the right people on the bus and the wrong people off the bus. In other words, who you work with is more important than what strategy you choose. Think about it. A great team can adapt to any challenge, while the wrong team will fail even with the best plan. Collins found that great companies put more energy into hiring and keeping the right people than into constantly changing strategies. Now picture this in your own world. Whether you're starting a business, building an investment team, or even just choosing mentors, ask yourself, do I have the right people around me? Because with the right people, any direction you take can lead to greatness. Great companies never sugarcoat reality. They confront the brutal facts while never losing faith that they will prevail in the end. This balance is what Collins calls the Stockdale paradox, named after Admiral Jim Stockdale, who survived years of torture as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. Stockdale explained that the prisoners who didn't make it were the optimists, the ones who believed they'd be out by Christmas, then Easter, then Thanksgiving. Each disappointment broke them. But Stockdale, while facing the harsh reality of his situation, never lost faith in his ultimate survival. In business, this means acknowledging hard truths, whether it's a failing product, shrinking market share, or poor customer experience, while still holding unshakable confidence in your ultimate vision. Think about how powerful that mindset could be in your own entrepreneurial journey. Realistic, but unbreakable. This one is one of the most famous ideas from Good to Great. Collins says that great companies find their Hedgehog Concept, a simple, clear concept that guides all their decisions. It comes from answering 3 questions. What are you deeply passionate about? What can you be the best in the world at? And what drives your economic engine? Imagine a hedgehog, simple, focused, and unbeatable in its one strategy of rolling into a spiky ball. Great companies have that same clarity. They don't try to be everything to everyone. They pick one thing and dominate it. For example, Walgreens didn't try to compete with every retailer out there. Instead, they focused obsessively on convenience, putting stores on every corner and making prescription filling fast and easy. That laser focus made them one of the best performing companies of their era. So ask yourself, what's your hedgehog concept? In your business or your career, what's the intersection of passion, skill, and economic potential? That's where greatness lies. Here's the final idea I want to share. The flywheel effect. Great companies don't achieve greatness through one single dramatic move. They build momentum step by step, like pushing a giant flywheel. At first, it's slow, but with consistent effort, it starts to move faster and faster until it's unstoppable. This is such an important lesson for entrepreneurs. There's no magic bullet, no overnight success. It's about consistent action, steady progress, and never giving up. Every small win builds momentum, and eventually the wheel turns almost effortlessly. Think of Amazon. Jeff Bezos didn't create the Amazon we know today in a year. It started with books, then slowly expanded, building trust, improving logistics, reinvesting profits, until it became the global powerhouse it is now. That's the flywheel in action. Now, how can you start applying these lessons today, even before you read the book? First, take a look at your own leadership style. Are you focusing more on your ego or on the success of your team and mission? Practice humility, but don't lose your determination. Second, examine the people around you. Do you have the right people on your bus? If not, maybe it's time to make some tough decisions. Third, write down the brutal facts of your current situation. No excuses, no sugarcoating. Then balance that with a firm belief that you can overcome them. Fourth, think about your hedgehog concept. What's the one thing you can commit to mastering? The thing that combines passion, skill, and profitability. And finally, start building your flywheel. Take one consistent action every single day toward your goal. Don't look for shortcuts. Build momentum. And here's the thing. What I've shared today is just the beginning. Good to Great is one of those rare books that completely changes the way you see business and leadership. It's packed with stories, research, and practical wisdom that you simply can't afford to miss if you're serious about building something lasting. So if you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend grabbing your own copy. It's a book you'll want to underline, revisit, and keep on your shelf for years to come. That's it for today's breakdown of Good to Great by Jim Collins. I hope these insights sparked something in you and gave you practical steps to move closer to greatness. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos about books that will give you great knowledge. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want more deep dives into the world's most powerful books on business, entrepreneurship, and personal success. Thanks for watching, and remember, good is the enemy of great. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.